And there I see a soldier in a blue uniform running. And he disappears into our camper. My wife comes back up. She's like, I saw a soldier in blue. I was like, so did I. And then I saw a black figure in the woods over here. And I'm like, she has psychic abilities too, but she refuses to believe it.
Yeah.
Welcome to The Wandering Road, a paranormal podcast. Every mile of this road holds a story. Some are whispered, some screamed, and some never meant to be told at all. From haunted back roads to whispered legends, no case is too dark and no question too dangerous. Welcome, traveler. The road is waiting.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Wandering Road podcast. I am your co-host, not Chris, I'm Dean. It's been a long week and I almost tripped up, and we're going to keep it in because it's fun. I'm coming to you straight from Hawaii, beautiful Hawaii. Chris is coming from Western PA, and we have on the show today the amazing Bekah from Third Eye Bekah. We've had her on before. We're going to discuss things again. It's going to be super exciting because she's been to Pennhurst. She's been to Gettysburg, and Chris is going to Gettysburg soon, and we have a lot to talk about. And I'm super psyched for this because, like, we actually have someone on here who has done recent paranormal investigations. Let's kick it off. Bekah, how's it going? How's everything going
How
for
are you guys?
Yeah,
Good.
hanging in there.
Awesome.
Yeah. We just I had a recent release where we freaking talked to Pinhead, the actor, Doug Brown.
That's nuts, man. I still can't believe that guy came on the show. That's awesome.
Yeah. Episode 173 and episode 174 will be part 4 coming out Friday, July 3rd. So this episode will probably air after that. So if you have not listened to that episode, go listen to 173 and 174. I had the Doug Bradley, the guy that plays Pinhead, on the show. And it's funny how I met him. I met him at a Comic-Con. He was doing autographs. I had a Liverpool jersey on, and he's from Liverpool. He's a huge fan. He's just randomly started talking to me, and then I just started talking to him the past days at the con. And I told him, I took the shot. I was like, "Hey, here's my business card. Got a podcast for the paranormal. You want to come on?" He's like, "Yeah." Here's my email. I shot him the email, and then literally, it happened within hours. He's like, "Hey, I'm available."
Please. Please tell me, did you use our card, the one that we made?
100%. 100%.
Yes. That's awesome, man.
100%.
We did the whole Kinko's, make a famous card. I even I travel for work sometimes, and I scatter them around randomly, hoping that somebody is going to more and more people are going to start listening. But before we get into it, I apologize, guys. I am on baby duty, so our listeners, our viewers, I apologize if I cut my screen. It's because I have to run off for a second. But we will continue on with the show as normal. So let's kick it off.
And the reason I bring up a con, it kind of segues into what you did recently, Bekah. This past May, you were at Paracon at Pennhurst. So
yes.
I'm curious about that. I talked to Patty. I saw that you had met her, and she was awesome. Had her on the show recently. So what was the Paracon like? I'm just curious about that because I've always thought about going to one, and I'm like, I'm a small-time podcaster. I'm like, is anyone going to fucking come to my booth or anything? I don't have anything to sell. I mean, all I'll have is business cards and be with a sign that says, "Please tell me your ghost stories and come on my show." But how was it for you?
Free stickers and they'll come on over.
Yeah, free stickers. Okay, I got to do that.
So this was actually my third time going. The first 2 times I went, I just bought tickets and we went. But I was actually vending there this year. But I have a small apothecary that, has metaphysical items, and I make all of the items myself. And I set up a booth. And I had all of my Third Eye Bekah stickers, and I was actually so amazed how many people came over just to look, and then they were like, "Oh my God, is that you?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." I was like, "Oh my God, people know who I am. Like I was like very excited. I didn't realize how many people had like knew who I was. I was like, cool. All right. But it was such a good time. Like all of the celebrities were just walking around. I mean, you always forget that they're people too.
People.
And they get to walk around and be humans and you're like, oh my gosh. There's Twin Paranormal. There's, the ghost hunters. Like it's awesome. It's really cool. I definitely recommend it. Especially, I mean, you guys should go and you should set up a booth and talk to people. You can get more people on your podcast that way too. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, you hear that, Mr. Hawaii? Get your ass over here.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Yeah.
I had already paid for my booth for next year too, so I'm really excited.
By the way, Chris,
Yeah.
wait, Chris, what did we get from two people? We have to mention them because we don't know who they are, and we have to like say thank you real quick.
Now three.
Because I think it's like
Now
three now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
3 people.
Yeah. So on that, like people like, coming to your booth and stuff like that, we set up this like coffee page. Some people have like Patreon, some people have like
Buy me a coffee. Yeah.
And like I just put it out there, and recently like we had 3 people like join us as subscribers. So shout out to them. One of them,
whoever you are, amazing.
Yeah, one of them, like, we don't know because it's just like an email address. Like, we appreciate it. The other one I do know because they put their name on it. Amanda, thank you. She runs a detailing shop. I think she's in Wisconsin, so look her up on Instagram. I think it's Beautiful Distraction, and she like runs a detailing shop. She's awesome. Go get your car detailed. Nice. And the other one is actually my cousin who's been like listening to the show consistently and like been donating for months, and I didn't even know until he told me.
Wow. Dude,
so
thank you so much, man.
Yeah, aside from like the family, but like, when like to your point, Becca, like when people recognize you and like come up to your booth and stuff like that, it's like, holy shit, you care.
Yeah, it's like it's amazing because people just watch videos and then they'll like them, and then but when they actually come and they're like, oh wait, that's you, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Want some magnesium spray? Like
Yeah. So I'm curious about your apothecary stuff. Like what do you sell there? Like how did you start doing that?
So I have an autoimmune issue. So I started realizing that chemicals were making me ill. So everything in our house is non-toxic. I make everything from, bath salts to laundry powder. I make magnesium sprays. And then from there, people loved it. And then I started getting, my like witchy side into it. And I started, doing metaphysical items. And then there's crystals. I have protection rollers. I have sage cleansing spray. And I infuse positive energy into it. I don't think I was Reiki certified the last time I was on your podcast. So I've been putting Reiki into my products and, just
nice.
putting energy into it. So that's kind
so
of
I have two quick things. Reiki, I've heard of that before. I kind of vaguely know what that is, but for our listeners, can you explain what Reiki is? And like, I didn't even know it was a certification. Like, how do you get Reiki certified?
Yes. So I only did level 1 so far. I'm working on level 2. I met this amazing woman, Bess. I don't know, I just met her and there was like this amazing connection. And then I started going to her place and she does sound baths and she does Reiki. So I was like, you know what? I want to be open to Reiki. Reiki is like positive energy and everybody is, able to receive that positive energy. There's just what they call attunements. So you go and you have to learn like an entire like little course book. And then once you learn it, at the end, you get your Reiki attunement. How my Reiki teacher explains it is every time that you practice Reiki or you get attuned, it's like a straw. And the more you get attuned, the wider the straw goes. So you might be a small little coffee stirrer straw. And then the first attunement you get, you're a McDonald's straw. And then after that, it keeps widening and widening. And the first time
Boba straw.
Yeah. I want to be the smoothie straw. And the first time that I had Reiki, I went to a Reiki share. So I wasn't like attuned to Reiki or anything. She teaches you a little bit, and we all share positive energy to one another. So it's universal life force energy. And I started feeling like right here on the top of my head, my hair tingling. And that was the first time like I've ever gotten that sensation. And now every time I do Reiki, I send Reiki, I receive Reiki, the top of my head tingles. And
Wow.
it's crazy.
Is Reiki Japanese in origin, real quick?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
And I am certified in Usui Reiki. That's just the practitioner. Yep. And it first came to America, and I think it was the 70s, and it first came to Hawaii. So you're in like the first state that.
Oh man, I got to get some Reiki on me too, man. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I love it. It brings a community together, and it's just amazing the things that you can do that you have no idea that you can do. You know what I mean? We block things out all of the time, and our bodies are amazing, and our entire spiritual being. So
Agreed.
So Becca, what do people go to Reiki for? Because it's not the first time I've heard of it. So I'm kind of curious, like what particular reason someone would go and search that out.
Yep. So sometimes people are looking for healing physically, emotionally, spiritually, and that's where that can help. So I took some other courses too because I
Nice.
got a little curious, and then I went on a rabbit hole, and then I just started taking all these courses and getting certifications. So one of them is crystal energy healing, and then the other one is a space healing practitioner. So that, and all of that has to do with Reiki as well. So say you're just not feeling emotionally well, you can go to a Reiki practitioner and they can scan you, your body, your chakras. They can suggest, they can't like diagnose or anything, but they can suggest that, okay, you have a block in your heart chakra. Let me try and clear that out. And there's an entire practice and way to do it. Now, everything is different for each practitioner. Once I got attuned, and I started practicing, like when I do these Reiki shares and when I'm sending energy to other people in a room, we all sit in a circle. I can literally feel where their chakras are blocked and send energy to those chakras or where their body needs it the most. Sometimes when people are going through, cancer treatments and things like that, just pulling out that negative energy and transmuting it into positive energy and sending, love and light to those spaces in the body can really be beneficial. There's like amazing stories and about it. That's kind of what drew me to it.
When you say like, you pass positive energy, you said you felt like the tingling on the top of your head. Is that the consistent feeling that you get, or is there something more kind of like physical that you can't see that you feel? I'm just curious because I've seen on TikTok, like, there's like Reiki people on there and they do like videos and stuff. And I'm like, can you do that virtually, or is it something that you have to be in person?
Yes.
Yeah.
So certain levels. So once you get to level 3, you can send energy like virtually and things like that. But right now, my level 1, I'm just like allowed to practice on myself and other people, like my friends or my family. But I'm not allowed to like receive money for it or anything like that because I need to get to those other levels. But my friend Brittany, she is a Reiki practitioner, and I don't know much about the fire Usui Reiki. I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong. I could be butchering that. But that's what she does. And she sent me videos, and she did a complete Reiki session on me virtually. And the things that she was saying, like, I was like, okay, I can receive this virtually. It was really crazy. And she also kind of put her own little twist into it, which has a little, I guess you'll call it magic in it. And she can see into different timelines. And she was telling me things that I would have never spoken out loud. And she's like, I see this blocked here, and this is from another timeline that you were on once. So that was pretty cool. But there's so many different ways that you can send it. Now, physically for your body, personally for me, I feel it on the top of my head tingling. When you start to send it with your hands, like at least my hands, actually start to get very, very hot because you're pushing out energy. It's a very cool practice, and I'm still practicing. I'm not an expert or a Reiki master or anything like that. But
Yet.
yes, that's my mission. So, and it's just, you can heal the world, you can heal people, and I don't know. Sometimes all it takes is to heal and help one person to make a difference. So,
Absolutely.
I feel like if you like read Chris and I would be like, oh shit, you're all blockage. You got blockage. You got blockage here. You got blockage here. You got blockage here. Oh shit.
Hey, I mean, I could try. We could practice. Last
I'd
time
be
I
open
did
to
pick
it.
up something from Chris, but like I didn't want to say it because I didn't know if I was like wrong.
No,
So,
go ahead. What'd you pick up?
do you have like an issue with like a parental figure, like they were too hard on you, or I'm trying to find the words to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just feel like. Hold on, I gotta find the words. I just feel like they were too hard on you, and it's like kind of affected you like mentally and emotionally, and I think that's where you're blocked, and you have to realize that you're bigger than that, and you have to feel your confidence, and once you clear that, you're gonna feel so much better. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I picked
Bingo.
up. Okay.
Very old school upbringing. I wasn't abused, okay? I wasn't abused physically or emotionally. It's just like, like Caribbean parents, they're like, just because of their upbringing, they're like very hard nosed, very hard ass. It's like,
Right.
you work, you do this, you do that. There's no time for
Deal with it.
anything.
Yeah, deal with it, right?
Yeah, extracurricular. Like, that there's like no concept of, mental struggle and stuff, which is more of like a cultural thing. So, no, you're spot on. And listeners, I've never shared any of this with her. So,
No.
Yeah, and when you were saying that, it kind of felt like weird, like right here.
Yeah, that's where I always feel like energy sources. Yeah, so that's your heart chakra, right? So you kind of, it's like you love your parent, right?
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
It's weighing heavy on that chakra, but also your heart chakra also has to do with your shoulders too, and it's really heavy on your shoulders. I feel like you would really benefit from Reiki. Sorry if I picked that up or if I brought up any emotional damage.
No, you were spot on. Okay, now do him.
See, like that's where I am in my practice. Like I hear it, then I can tell you, but I don't really know how to I don't want to like lie. I'm not going to try and like pull things, you know what I mean? That just came to me.
No, and you were 100% spot on, so I can't even deny that. Like 100% spot on. And listeners, I never shared this stuff with her, never talked about anything personally. So,
and I can't see anything at your house. It says Wandering Road in the background. There's nothing I could pull out and look at and try to figure out. So,
yeah,
and you can't see all the waifu pillows and like.
No, I don't do that. I will admit to my Lord of the Rings obsession, but none of that weird Mr. Japan stuff.
Sure.
JJ's the one with the waifu pillows. Okay, I ain't doing it.
But okay, really quick.
Yeah.
Hold on. Like, wait a sec. I have to say this. This is like, I think that there is something to the energy draw thing with Reiki and other similar stuff, because I feel like it's really rare in especially Western culture where you explore different mindsets and you kind of like be aware of other mindsets and you like reset yourself to that specific frequency. I had a weird experience when I was younger where I kind of wanted to like go someplace like with my professional career when I was first starting, and like I didn't think much about it. I'm like, oh well, I really want to do this thing. Like I want to work this area, go to this location, do this, whatever. And the only jobs I could ever find were like senior level jobs, right? And back then I was like entry level, maybe like middle level at best. But somebody had told me along the path of my professional career, like, oh, just make waves, change your attitude, believe that you have more capability or worth than you actually think you do. And I'm like, okay, like it took me a while, but like, okay, I'll try it. So I find, these senior level jobs and I apply to them. and I ended up getting an interview for one, and ultimately that parlayed into getting me out to Hawaii, getting a home, getting like, if I didn't move out here with my wife, like we wouldn't have the kids we have. Like it's just like reflecting on it. Like if I didn't make that effort, or somebody didn't give me that insight when I was younger, I would not be where I'm at. So like I think there definitely is like a bleed over in power between manifesting things yourself, but also there's like an air of energy that is with it. So that just reminds me of like the whole Reiki thing. So I want to dig more into that Reiki, especially since I heard that like it's very prevalent in Hawaii. So yeah, thank you for that. I'm gonna look into
Yeah,
that
of
more.
course. I'm sure they have plenty of Reiki there. It's like the first state that it came to. So
That's awesome.
Question, Becca.
Yeah.
Like how you
Mhm.
just did that for me. Like, did it just randomly like appear to you? Does it ever get overwhelming when you're around people?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
how do you handle that now that you're kind of like entry level?
If I feel so drawn to go out and tell somebody, I will. But like, it's just like all this information, and it always, like most of the time, it always comes from the right side, or I can hear spirit talking in my ear. That always scares me. But it just comes to me, and I just know. Like I didn't want to go out and be like, like, hey, your dad's kind of strict. He's kind of mean. He's kind of like laying the law over there. Well, didn't he? I didn't want to like say that, but that's how I heard it in my head. But I wanted to say it nicely. Sometimes when I do get things and I go to tell people, I'm so emotionally like distraught by everything that I'm feeling. I start hyperventilating and crying. I can't do it. I like can't talk. I'm like, I don't want to cry. But that's kind of how it comes out. I actually took a now that I'm showing you all my certificates and telling you everything, but I took a psychic class. I already knew, like, obviously that I have the gift, but I just don't know how to use it. So I took a class at this place in Maryland. It's called Haven. It's in Haverty Grace. And Lene is the teacher. She was absolutely amazing. She does so many awesome classes and things there, and even has paranormal investigations, and her little building is even haunted. But I was like, you know what? I want to like, how can I like quiet my mind to get more? So I wanted to take that class. And at the end of it, she even takes you on a paranormal investigation. You don't know where you're going. You're going to someone's house. She doesn't tell you anything before. And it's with a group of psychics. And you kind of just go in and start writing things. And then at the end, and you go around, you walk around, you investigate. It's like cold lo-fi, so you get your EMF. You can use dowsing rods, and you can use, oh my God, what's that called? With the crystal on the board. I can't think of the name. Pendulum.
Pendulum.
The pendulum.
Yeah.
It's just crazy what everybody picked up and how they perceived the same information of things. So it was pretty cool. She even brought in like all of these like haunted objects from her house. And when we were sitting there in class, I hear a man talking in my ear. He said, "Pick up that picture frame." And I'm like, okay. So I'm like looking as everybody's going up to grab their haunted object, and I'm like, and I like, don't take that, don't take that. So then I go up and I take it and I look at it, and I'm just getting flooded with information. And before she could even tell us like, this is what you need to do, I'm just like writing all this stuff down, because I'm like, if I don't write it down, I'm gonna forget it. And I like start feeling like I'm on the beach, and then I feel like my back's laying in the sand. And then I like look up at the sky, and I see the sky. It's a sunny day, but it's hot. It's like hazy. And then I see an eagle, and the eagle just like opens up, and it's just bright, and I can't see anything else. And then I feel my hands, and I feel calluses on my hands. And then I feel like my heart is going like beating, and it can't get back into rhythm, and I feel like there's like a pacemaker like shocking my heart or something, trying to get my heart back in rhythm. And the spirit said, "Hi, Lene." And I wrote all this down, and then I start telling her, and she's like, "I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna cry." And I'm like, okay, like, should I stop? And she's like, "That's my dad, and everything you said was right. He was a carpenter." So that's why I was feeling like calluses on my hands. And he died on the beach. I guess that's why I felt like I was like in the sand. And she said her dad would purposely take them on vacations just to see eagles. So like I don't know if I was like seeing what he saw before he died,
Right.
but like I saw the eagle on the sky, and he had a pacemaker, and he had a heart attack and died on the beach. So that's why I was feeling like that. It's
Yeah.
just, but I don't get that all the time. I don't know how to make it. Like it just happens when it happens. So
I don't mean to take things in a negative direction, but like I'm curious though, like because in Reiki and like the energy transfer in other areas you're delving into, it sounds like it's mostly positive, which
Yeah.
is great. That's fantastic. Like it should be positive for like a human who's on Earth who's seeking like enlightenment and stuff like that. I feel like that is the way that you would want to play out. But I'm just curious, just for the sake of covering all bases on both ends of the spectrum. Have you been taught anything about like watching out for certain negative energy or like things that might be trying to tempt you or trick you? Or is it mostly just like, oh, if you feel a certain way, you should trust it and go with it in a positive way? That makes sense.
I feel like if you do not engage in negative energy, you can't
You can't call it.
if you're calling it in and you're bringing it in, then you gave it permission. I feel like it needs permission. If you like I feel like I'm just full of positive, like, love, light. A long time ago when I was on here last time and I was telling you about, all the haunted and negative energies I had in my old houses that I used to live in,
Mm-hmm.
I was in a negative space. So
Right.
negativity was attracting negativity. And now I'm just like positive, and positivity is attracting the positive. You know what I mean? I can still feel and sense when something is negative. I'm able to figure out how that feels in my body energy wise. So I know not to engage in it. And I do, like, hey, you can't follow me home. You need to stay here. You're not allowed to, enter anywhere near my body. You're not allowed to touch me. You need to stay away. Like I'll interact with positive entities and beings, like when I do investigations or, that's kind of what I say.
And I don't want to give anyone bad information. I will say that if you feel like you're in danger in a situation with somebody, you should definitely try to do the best thing possible to get away from the danger. But at the same time, I feel like I had a more positive perspective on life when I was younger, just because I didn't have as many stressors and like I didn't have as many things going on that I needed to take care of and stuff like that. So like it was more easygoing when you're younger for some people, not everybody, more flowing. But I feel like I had a perspective of positivity more so than I do now when I was younger. And so like I would meet people who would want to fight, or like I'd meet people who were abrasive or something, but there was like some way that they would be disarmed by my presence or the way I talk to them. And I guess you could say like maybe part of that is just like my demeanor, but at the same time, like maybe there's more to it. So like the reason I bring that up is because it just reminds me, I haven't talked to somebody in a long time who preaches pure positivity to deflect negativity. And so I do wonder, I still wonder to this day, like if you're more positive and you're more open to that, like, are you more likely to have a positive outcome for someone who is negative towards you?
Especially with like all of the things I've learned and I've just, trial and error. If you are just fueling with someone who is negative and you're being negative back, it just literally, for better lack of terms, it just like fuels the fire. If someone's being negative and you're being positive, your positive energy is going to radiate outwards further than that negativity is ever going to be able to reach. So if you just keep putting positive energy into a space or into a situation, it's not going to affect you. Like, I mean, it might, but like, it's not going to take over your life and ruin your life. You just need to be I don't know the best way to say this, but just being positive and just surrounding yourself and imagining yourself in a bright white bubble of positive energy and love and light. Just, I don't think that negativity is going to be able to affect you if you were just completely negative. Does that make sense?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I agree.
No,
Yep.
that makes sense. Yeah. It's kind of like with your mindset too, right? If you're negative
Yeah.
in your mindset, you're just going to go into everything pessimistic, and it's kind of like what they say of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yep.
Or like you kind of just lead yourself to failure. So I think that makes sense. What I did want to ask is, when you said that you kind of feel that negative energy and those negative entities when you go on an investigation. What does that feel like to you, where you know, like, okay, oh shit, like this, like I can't, no.
I feel as like a psychic sense, that how it interacts with my body. Like I feel like my throat is going and it's being squeezed and I can't breathe. And then sometimes I'll start to get dizzy and lightheaded. Um, I can kind of feel it. It kind of depends what it is, but that's my number one, like, oh shit, like we need to get out of here, or we need to like don't interact with this space. Sometimes I'm able to be like, okay, this thing is so powerful that we need to leave it and we need to say, you're not allowed to follow me. We're going somewhere else. But sometimes, like, even though it's negative, it could just be like a negative spirit that had a really bad life and they're not actually, an entity, they're a spirit. That's just kind of mean and old and grumpy, that kind of vibe.
Right. Yeah.
There's definitely a difference between that kind of spirit and a negative energy, like entity.
When I was doom scrolling yesterday, you may have come across this as well. It's this TikTok page that's like dedicated to portraits of people from the Victorian era, and yeah, like scrolling through them, it's like professional portraits from like, I think the oldest one I saw was from like 1860 or something like that, and I'm like, I can't. There was like, it was like a playlist of 80, and I went through all of them. And I was like texting my buddy JJ, and I'm like, dude, I found this page, absolutely mesmerized. I'm like, I didn't think I'd be that intrigued with people that lived over 160 years ago. And I was like, this photo is just like a snapshot, 1 second in their entire life that we'll never know about, have no details or anything like that. But I promise it's coming to a question. How you picked up the picture frame and all that stuff. If you were to look at one of those pictures of those videos or whatever, like the presentation scrolling through, do you think you would be able to pick up on anything, even though it's digital, or would you need something like the actual physical portrait of like said person, and would they have to still be around spiritually for you to get any information, or do you think you're able to like just pull information, or from like your psychic classes, are you guys able to like just deduce from just looking at a photo or something?
Yeah, so it's random, but sometimes I can just be like see something on the internet and I'll start feeling like different tingles and different chakras, and I kind of know, I'm like, okay, this might have happened to this person, or I might feel something off of a photograph. I really like to hold actual photos in my hand. And sometimes if you just like, I breathe deep and I meditate, then I can start feeling things off of the photos. Not every photo has like an energy to it, like I mean, like a spirit attached to it or something like that.
Sure.
But
Right.
sometimes I can pick up energies and, different traits that that person might have had, or I can feel a certain way. It's all so random. I'm trying to work towards being able to just do it on the spot, but it takes a lot of practice and a lot of quiet in my brain, and I don't really have that all the time.
No, I know what you mean with the quiet in the brain stuff. Like
Yeah.
I literally can't fall asleep unless I have like an audiobook on or something
Yeah.
with my headphones. It's that bad at times.
I can't fall asleep unless I'm watching like paranormal videos.
See, I try to do that, but my wife doesn't. No, that doesn't gel for her. Not at all.
It like makes me feel alive when I like watch that kind of stuff. I don't know why. I guess it's just like feeding my soul, and I'm like, oh, I love that. Before bedtime.
Right? Look, if I'm by myself, I'll have it on, but the
Yeah.
dogs have to be with me. So it's like, there's a trade-off. They don't know what's going on, or maybe they do.
I mean,
Are you able to? Okay, speaking of that, are you able to like pick up on animals and stuff, like energy from them, or what's that like? Was it like involuntary?
like animal spirits.
Like animal spirits, or just like if you like came across like a dog or something, like, or even your own animals?
Yeah, so we have a lot of spirit animals in our house. I'm not sure if last time I was on the podcast, I don't think my dog had passed away yet. She passed away in February, at the end of February. And
Sorry.
yeah, thank you. She had a specific bed that she'd like to lay in. It was her little orthopedic bed, and she had passed away, and my wife will not let me use any type of like paranormal equipment in the house at all. She's like,
No.
this is our safe space. She's like, we walk out of that door and you tell me all this crazy stuff all the time. She's like, this is our safe space. And I'm like, okay, all right. But I pulled out my EMF detector. Wait, do I have it with me? Let me see. Oh yeah. I pulled this out.
Okay.
And I sat it on her bed because I knew she was there. I knew she was there. So I sat it there and I like took a video. And I'm like, Lily, if you're here, can you wag? Can you shake on the bed just so I know you're here? This started going off. It only went to the yellow. I was like freaking out a little bit, but I was like, I know she's here. I know she's here. So then like this was like a day later after she had passed away, and we hadn't gotten her ashes yet. And I told my wife, I'm like, come here right now, because she's just like still hysterical. And I sit it down. I'm like, watch. She's like, no, don't do that in the house. I was like, just watch. And then I start talking to her, and it starts going off. I was like, I told you she's here. I was like, do you believe me? I know when she's here. I haven't seen her in maybe like a month, but
Okay.
she walked in the kitchen while I was like getting ready for work, about to leave, and I saw her. Her entire body, her entire face. I saw her walk right in the kitchen, and she had her little head down, and she's wagging her tail, and I screamed because it scared the crap out of me because I wasn't expecting it. I was like, ah! Oh my god, because I was like, where did this animal come from? But and then they just kind of
Just
just dissipate. And it was
dissipate.
like,
Okay.
it was I haven't seen her since. I hope I didn't scare her too bad. But we also got a puppy too, so maybe she kind
Oh.
of knows like they don't need me as much now, and they have someone to love on. And but
See, that type of story like makes me happy because I always have this fear that like once animals go, they just go. There's they don't come back. They don't we don't
they're
have a
here.
chance of ever seeing them again. So that makes me happy. Interesting story is in 2017, October of 2017, my wife and I, our Maine Coon, like he passed away like pretty rapidly. He went into kidney failure. He was 10. I remember she like while I was away for work in Seattle, and she like told me like, hey, he's like breathing weird and stuff like that. I come back home and he's like in the litter box, just like laying there. So I
Oh,
take him to the vet, and I was like, I get to the vet, and he told me what was going on. I was like, fuck. And I'm like, I can't do this by myself. So I called her. She came. Her mom came. We had to put him to sleep. But I shit you not, like 3 weeks later, we're laying in bed, and it's bad feng shui, which my best friend, he's like one of my best friends from high school. Which I still talk to him every day. We've been friends for like, I don't know, 22 years now. And he came to our house one day, like the old house, and he saw where we had the bed placement. He was like, dude, it's not supposed to face the doorway. It's bad feng shui. The bed was positioned in that manner, and I'm laying in bed. She's asleep. I have the TV on and everything. And I see our cats like just walking in the hallway and stuff. And then I see this head, like, I kid you not, like just poke around, and it was his face.
oh,
And I was like, I double taked. I'm like, wait, what? Because the other three were in the room with us. I'm like, there shouldn't be a fourth one out there. So, like, yeah, I told her, I'm like, yeah, I saw him. Like, he like poked his head in, and
they're
So
there.
that's
I promise.
that's yeah. Especially now that you took like psychic classes and stuff like that, like Penhurst or Gettysburg. Like, what was that like now that you're tapping into your abilities?
Last week we went. So we leave our camper up in Gettysburg. So last week we went camping, and there's like a farm that's near the campground that we're at, and we start hearing gunshots, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, that could possibly rile up some activity. We hear gunshots, and my wife is at the park with our son, and I'm at the camper with the dog. And I'm like, okay, that might rile up some activity. And my phone was in the camper, and I was outside of it, and I go to get my phone to text my wife, and she had already texted me, I wonder if those gunshots are going to make the spirits, like, get them all riled up too. So the second I look at that, I look over, and there I see a soldier in a blue uniform running, and he disappears into our camper. I'm like, what? And my wife comes back up. She's like, I saw a soldier in blue. I was like, so did I. And then she's like, and then I saw a black figure in the woods over here. And I'm like, she has psychic abilities too, but she refuses to believe it.
Okay. Yeah.
But when we're like in a vicinity together, everything ramps up and everything's like even crazier, because she's picking up on like certain traits of an energy and I'm picking up on certain traits of an energy. But I had just seen a soldier dart and he had the blue uniform on. She comes over, she's like, I saw the soldier. He's got buttons going down. And she's like describing it, and she's like, he's got a long beard. He had like this hat on. And I was like, okay, I didn't even pick up on all of that. So she's like, we need to get the spirit box out. And I was like, okay, let's get the spirit box out. And we sit outside of our camper and we put the spirit box on. And then I went on TikTok live. There's like a little bit of snippet on my TikTok. And we're just asking questions, and these male voices were coming through. The name that was coming through was Robert, and it just kept coming through. Then my friend Brad, I don't know if have you heard of Neo Paranormal? He pops on live just to say hi, and I'm like explaining what we're doing. And then the second he leaves, the spirit box says his name 3 times. It says Brad. And I'm like, that's so weird. Why would it say your name 3 times? That's so strange. But like these different like men's voices were coming through, and my wife was just kept asking questions like, what color is your uniform? Blue. And I'm like, okay, well, we just saw a soldier in a blue uniform. That was about all of the activity that we got there. But we have seen on the battlefield, we have both seen 2 soldiers walking together. We actually both saw that at the same exact time, like I don't know, 10, 12 years ago now. But I've never really been to Gettysburg and not had an experience. And maybe a month ago, we went to Mr. G's Ice Cream, and we parked in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. And I'm about to turn the car off, and we're all about to get out to go get ice cream. And the radio just starts going, like, spinning, and it's scanning through all the channels. And I'm like, I had my hands up. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not touching that. Like, nobody touched the radio. My kid was in the back seat. I had my hands on the steering wheel. Like, I have no idea, like, how that even happened. And I was like, okay, that's really weird. And then the volume started going up. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to turn the car off now. I posted a video about that, and somebody commented on it and was like, there's a witness tree at Mr. G's, right? And I was like, no, I didn't know that. And then you literally go to Mr. G's, and there's like, I don't know, 100 signs that say, be careful of the witness tree roots. And I'm like, I never even noticed that. And the trees was there during the battle. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that.
Okay, now you got me looking that up, because I'm going to be there. The Baltimore Street sycamore tree. Because I actually wanted to go to that ice cream shop, but the line is always so fucking long. Oh
yeah, but it's so good. The furniture that they have inside where you can sit to eat your ice cream is all made out of the sycamore tree, like when branches fall. Somebody made I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. Like, they made the furniture in there. Like, that would probably rile it up,
By the way, I feel like you both saw the entity, and with the blue uniform, and like you said, it ran, it went into your camper. I just imagine, the first thing I went to in my mind was hilariously, you wake up in the morning oh, how'd you sleep, honey? Oh, I slept pretty good. And then you roll over, and the guy in the blue is like, oh, how'd you guys sleep? Pretty good. Oh shit!
Oh my god, I'd be terrified if I woke up to that.
He's like,
Came
I'll
to
trade
nap in
your
your
coffee
camper.
for tobacco.
Oh my God.
You guys going to the front line today?
And like we'll hear weird stuff in the camper because obviously it's like so quiet. And there's like no one where our camper is, there's like no one near it. And we always go like on the weekdays, so literally nobody's there. And we'll just hear like things. And like the other day we heard like sound like footsteps in the camper. I was like, I have to pee, but I'm not getting up. I'm not getting up. I'm scared. I'm honestly more afraid of the bugs than the ghosts. Like all the ghosts can come.
Yeah,
Keep the bugs away.
bugs at campgrounds in general suck.
Oh my, there was a bug this big and it had pinchers. And it was like walking around the bathroom floor, like at the campground. And I went in there because I was like, oh, I'm just walking around. I'll just go to the bathroom here really quick. And it was like walking around the floor, it had collected everybody's hair and it had collected other dead bugs in the hair. I will send you the picture. It is disgusting. And it was, and I'm not kidding when it was this big and it had pinchers. I have no idea what it was. It was terrifying. I was like, yeah, I'm just not peeing in here. Like, that's fine.
So, like, have you? So, aside from the ice cream shop, like, have you seen like? Because you've probably been to Gettysburg as many times as I have, and I guess fortunately or unfortunately, I haven't seen anything.
After we investigated Jenny Wade in the orphanage on our way home, we were like, let's just drive around the battlefield and see if we get anything. And I think I told you this last time too, but we turn the car off and we like stop. And not even like 30 seconds later, I hear like horses' hooves like on the concrete and I hear a man's voice and I go, and I'm like, I turned that car back on and we flew out of there. Like,
Oh
it didn't
no!
even take that long. Like, I swear, like, I don't know if we attract it, like, the energies, or if we're like, I don't know if we're just like a beacon of light and they're like, oh, they hear us, they can see us. We're doing this. Like, I have no idea why that always happens.
No, I think there's some validity to that beacon of light type of thing. It's like those TV shows that they deal with like people that can see ghosts and stuff like that, and then they encounter a situation where like the person encounters a demon or a ghost or something, and it's like, wait, I know you can see me, type of thing.
Yep.
And it's like, oh shit, yeah, I can.
My son is starting to see it now. And I'm
Oh,
like, oh, I gave
no.
you the trait.
Uh-oh.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
Uh-oh.
Hey,
Yeah.
honey, what demon did you see last night? Well,
No, the one that smokes and sits on the toilet. Yeah, I saw him.
Did I tell you that, like, I can't remember if I told you or not, but, like, so in 2025, when we went to Pennhurst, we took my son, and they're like,
Okay.
you can't take anything from the property, right? And he's a 5-year-old. He picks up a rock, and, like, it was probably a rock to a building that had, like, was falling down, and he put it in his pocket, and I didn't know. And
Uh-oh.
by the time we get home, I'm, like, changing him into bed clothes. I'm like, where did you get this rock? And he's like, Pennhurst. And I'm like,
great. Now we got to
Oh
drive
my
back 3
God.
hours.
so, like, I still have this rock in my room, but, like, that night he fell asleep and he wakes up and he's, like, panting and he's like, Mommy! I'm like, what? He said, I saw a yellow man. I saw a yellow man and he was wearing, like, a white coat. And I'm like,
That's
okay.
it. The rock's
Okay.
going back.
And, me being me, I'm like, what did he look like? And he's like, he didn't have any eyes. And I was like, great. And you just stole this freaking rock from Pennhurst and you probably
Cool.
brought home a freaking demon or something. I don't know. But I saged the whole house. I saged that rock. After that, he didn't have any more of those dreams. But I'm like, that's lovely. And he saw something last week too at my mom's house. And I'm like, that's great. That's great.
What did he see?
And so my mom's house is haunted as shit. Like, it's so haunted.
More haunted than the one you lived in?
No. So this one is like, it's just a man. I mean, it's a woman and a younger boy that kind of reside in the house. They're not negative or anything. I believe they were murdered. Saw how the woman was murdered. And I really want to go to the archives in my neighborhood and see if there's anything I can dig up on it. He wanted to come home the other night and he refused to be near walk anywhere in my mom's house by himself because he said he saw this yellow. He describes him as yellow. He said he saw this yellow lady, and I was like, okay. And I knew exactly, like, obviously I've seen her. And I'm like, okay, like, what did she look like? And he was like, I don't know, just like a woman. And it was like the outline of a lady. And I was like, okay, well, like, how did it make you feel? And he was like, not bad, but it scared me. And I was like, okay, well, like, why did it scare you? And he was like, because she just showed up in the doorway. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. And then I couldn't really get much more information out of it. But he's told my wife that there's a ghost at my mom's house named Elizabeth. Now, I really want to go, like, try and see if I can figure out who lived on that land. It's all farmland back in the day. But the first time my mom moved in, like, 5 years ago, I pull up to the house and then get all the energy. Like, I get all the visions. I see everything. I see the woman in the attic window. The woman's more prevalent than the boy. And then I saw how she was murdered. She was like, I'll send you a picture, but of my mom's backyard. But from my mom's backyard, you can see the field, and there's this one tree, like all the way far back in the middle of this cornfield. And I see her like right near the tree, and she's on her hands and her knees, and she looks like she's in late 1800, early 1900s attire, and she's out in the field and looks like she's either burying something or planting something. I couldn't really tell. I couldn't decipher it. And she doesn't know this man has walked up behind her, and her hands are over the hole of whatever she's burying or planting. So I can't really see what it is. And she turns around, and there's a man in a straw hat, and he's wearing like a button-up looking shirt. Like he was kind of like a farmer, and he had on like slacks. And all I see is him whack her, and I have no idea what he hit her with, and that was all I saw. But he definitely killed her, and I even sent a picture of the photo of my mom's backyard in a psychic group, and a woman messaged me, and she Googled all of these photos, and she said, okay, this is what the man kind of looked like he was wearing, this is what the lady looked like, this is the clothes that looked like she was wearing, and she told me the same exact thing, and that was kind of when I was like, oh shit. Like, I do see stuff like
Right.
that was, but I can't, I feel like the boy was murdered, but I don't know, but he is blue. So there's really no water around our house because we live in farmland. So I don't really know, but he is definitely early 1900s because he's got little slacks on,
with the overalls thing.
Yes.
The suspenders. Yeah.
Yep. And now I don't know if they're related or if they're just, two spirits that are kind of attached to one another. My mom has said she texted me one night. She said, I can't leave my room because my son, his ball moved across the floor. And while she was like, and she lives by herself. And I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe don't leave your bedroom. I don't know.
Totally. Bring me some soup.
Yeah. And there's like, we had to live there for a little bit with her, before we bought our house, because there was like that weird lull where our house sold and we didn't get to buy a house yet, and we had to live in her attic. And I was like, yeah, they're up here in the attic, and I was terrified I would not go up there by myself without at least 2 dogs or a person, just because I was so scared, because I don't know, you don't want that stuff in your house. I'll go out and search for it somewhere else, but I don't want it in my house.
But Becca, I did have like a couple of other questions for you. Now that you've opened yourself up to like your psychic abilities and you're doing Reiki, how do you handle like when you just go out into public or you're at work and you like start picking up on stuff? Like, do you have like a method or some sort of mechanism that you do to not let it affect your mood?
Yeah, so I've got to ground myself, right? The only way I feel like sometimes if something's starting to affect me is to go outside and ground myself. Now that I am Reiki attuned, I'll breathe in, positive life force energy. There's like a certain way that you breathe it in from the top and from your root chakra and from your crown chakra. And then you just imagine this big bright ball of light of, universal love force energy, and it expands with every breath. until it basically encompasses your entire body. And after that, I feel great. I feel fine. If I don't really have time to do that, I kind of just like, I'm like, all right, I'm touching my chair. I'm bringing myself back in, because sometimes I will get sucked into that other, realm, or
Sure.
like that's kind of what I call it. I'm not sure if that's the right word for it. Where I'm like seeing things in another perspective. I just have to pull myself back in and I have to ground myself. So I'll start I'm like, okay, my feet are on the ground. I'm holding my chair. I'm gonna take my water. I'm gonna take a drink. I'll try and, smell a fragrance, or I'll take my coastal smudge spray that I make. I'll spray myself, and I'm like, okay, I'm cool. I'm calm. I'm collected. Sometimes when I'm just too busy, I just unfortunately feel things, and I'm like, all right, leave me alone right now. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, just not now, please.
Yes.
Like, I don't have time for this. It's funny you mentioned that. Like my cousin, like he told me a story of like he was asleep in his room. This was probably like, oh my god, like maybe 2010 or 2009. And he said he was sleeping. He was in bed, he was sleeping, and he felt like something like pressing down on him. He was like laying on his back and he was like pressing down on him. And he like literally said out loud, he like opened his eyes and he's like, yo, fucking stop. I gotta get up early. I don't got time for this shit right now. and it stopped, which was hilarious. So I feel like there's something to it.
Yep. I mean, you can't. I feel like if you don't give it power and you tell things to stop, they'll stop.
The last question I have for you, Becca, do you think now that you've kind of opened yourself up to this stuff that you would be willing to dabble in I don't know, like divination tools like Ouija boards, because you have one like on the wall back there, or
Wait,
tarot cards, right?
Yeah, I'm not like a tarot expert, but
Sure.
I do like to pull cards for myself.
Okay.
Now I haven't done the Ouija board yet. I feel like really any investigative tools. People are so afraid of a Ouija board, but like you're asking spirits to come through other devices. It's kind of the
Same thing.
same thing.
Sure.
They're just manipulating those devices, whereas if it was a Ouija board, you're asking them to manipulate you and your energy to move the planchette so you can, spell out the words.
Right.
Like you're being guided by spirit. So I understand it, but if we're going under and we're doing the Estes method, or I don't know, using the dowsing rod, you're asking for energy to be manipulated somehow to get answers. So, but yeah, I definitely would.
Awesome. Becca, thank you again for coming on for a third time. This has been awesome. I totally did not expect to go down a conversation about Reiki and all that fun stuff. I've always been fascinated about that, so I'm glad I had the chance to actually talk to someone that's actually starting out practicing, because I think to me it's kind of hard to get people to talk about that stuff, because you feel like if you're not among other practitioners or people that like fully believe in it or are actually getting it done, people think like, oh, okay, you're just gonna say it's bullshit or something like that. So it's one of the things that I've always been curious about, because I'll be driving around and I see like reflexology and like Reiki and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm always fascinated by that. So it was good to get some insight on someone that's actually starting out and learning about it. So but again, thank you for coming on for a third time. Would like to have you back on again at some point in the future. But before we let you go, where can the people find you?
Yep. So you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Third Eye Bekah.
You heard her, folks. Go ahead and give her a follow. Check out her videos. Check out her paranormal investigation videos, because based off of what she shared with me today, I'm sure those are really interesting to take a look at that evidence. Hope you tune in for the next one.
You've reached the end of tonight's journey on the Wandering Road. The show is written and produced by me, Chris, and my co-host, Dean. If you've got a scary story of your own, or if you'd like to join us as a guest, send your tale to twroadpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to follow us on social media for more haunted fun. And if you enjoyed tonight's episode, please rate, review, and share the show. It helps keep the lantern burning for fellow travelers. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road and your mind in the shadows, because the wandering never ends.